Join me as I discuss two proven surveillance techniques that can help you increase your surveillance success rate by 90%. Surveillance plays a crucial role in most private investigators' businesses, even if they don't really want to do surveillance. Yep, you heard me correct. There are a lot of PIs out there that simply do not want to do surveillance. And I get it, I really do. Surveillance jobs mean long hours sitting inside a hot car, staring at someone's front door, all the while you think everyone is staring at you. And then you get nothing, nada, no activity. What a waste of time. Well, it's not really a waste of time. You do get paid whether you see the subject or not, right? Yes, that is true, but too many unsuccessful surveillance jobs and your clients will stop sending them to you, which then presents another problem. Why is surveillance so important anyway? What makes it so important? Well, surveillance is all about gathering information. It is all about getting the intel on your subject to help your client further their legal case. It is not always about videotaping injured workers or chasing cheating spouses. We often see surveillance today being done in criminal cases, fraud cases, missing person cases, and many other investigations. Let's face it, even with a simple process serve, many of us do some level of surveillance from time to time. Sitting and waiting for a short period to see if anyone peeks out the window after you tried the serve and knocked on the door. Or sitting down the street on a sunny summer day watching activity at your subject's house, waiting to see your subject so you can make the easy serve without the awkward door knock. Regardless, though, of why you're doing surveillance, there are some key factors to help ensure it is successful or things you can do wrong to ensure it is not successful. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. One of the biggest hurdles surveillance investigators face today is lack of planning. This lack of planning is not necessarily because they are lazy or complacent or just never get around to it. This lack of planning usually stems from a lack of time to plan. You see, the surveillance world, like much of the private investigations industry, is a what have you done for me lately world. And part of that what have you done lately for me includes what can you do right now. The more surveillance you do, the more surveillance you get. The more surveillance you get, the less time you have for everything else, and this includes planning your next case. There are certain things you need to do, the have-tos, if you will, to be successful as a surveillance investigator. You, have to do the surveillance, right? And you have to get the video, get the money shot, right? And then you have to write the report, edit the video, send everything to the client along with an invoice, and then you're on to the next job. You see, the average surveillance job is 8 hours in the field doing surveillance. Then there is the drive time to and from each day, which is often 1 hour on each side. Then you calculate in 2 hours for report writing, video editing, answering emails, sending updates. Now your 8 hours has consumed 12 hours of your day. And of course, there is all that other work stuff you need to do, the networking, answering phone calls, returning phone calls, writing contracts, bookkeeping, marketing, and advertising, and before you know it, you've done run out of time. You have to get to bed. You need to get some level of rest. It's 10 p.m. and you have to be up at 4 a.m. and out the door. So what gets left behind? Yep, the prep time for the surveillance is what suffers. Sure, you looked over the information from the clients briefly. You did a quick Google search for the subject and came up with a maybe ID photo of them. And after all, you are a professional. You do this all the time and you know the neighborhood. Kinda, sorta, right? Then you show up and there are 3 cars in the driveway and 2 parked directly in front of the residence. Which one is your subject's? Darn, I wish I had run a comp report on him. Oh well, I can do that as soon as I get set up, right? Then you drive by and the sudden realization hits you that there is no place to park where you can see the residence except right across the street. Now, what do? You do another pass or 2, but there really isn't any good place to set up stationary surveillance. You check all of the immediate ingress and egress points, but nothing really there that helps you. And besides, which one is the most likely one for him to take? Who knows? How could you possibly know? So you just sit outside the neighborhood and you do frequent drive-bys to see if there is activity and see if there is an open spot to park. After you have done this 3 or 4 times, you finally see a spot to park. It's not ideal. It's 2 houses away, and you will have to watch behind you, and even then, you will only see if a car is leaving. But it is better than nothing, right? You get all hunkered down, ready to go, take a deep sigh of relief, then you hear knock, knock, knock on the window. A little old lady's voice says, "Hello, hello. Do you need help, sir?" Yep, the nosy nanny who saw you drive by half a dozen times also saw you park, and now she is going to play neighborhood patrol. But before she came out to confront you, well, she called 3 or 4 of her closest neighbors, her friends, the ones who keep the neighborhood safe, and they are all outside watching you now. Well, what do you do now? Or better put, what could you have done to prevent this in the first place? Prepping for the case is where you start. You need to run that comp report on the subject so you know you're going to the right address, so you know what vehicles are registered there and which ones belong to your subject, so you know if he works, so you know if he has a criminal record. Basically, you need to run that comp report so you know. Then you need to do a recon on that surveillance, not just looking on Google Maps. Sure, that might help you identify the best possible places to park if they are available. But there is a big problem with those Google Map photos. Those are all taken in the middle of the day when everyone is at work and there are few, if any, cars parked on the street. Take, for instance, the street I live on. Right now, it's 11:30 in the morning on a Monday. As I look out the window and as I look at my cameras, I see one car parked a few houses down and across the street. But at 5 a.m., there were cars parked in front of nearly every single house except our house. And guess what? We are those nosy neighbors who see everything that goes on, and we will see you parking in front of our house at 5 a.m., and we will be knocking on your window to see if everything is okay. Do your future self a favor and do drive-bys when you're going out on another surveillance in the wee hours or later in the evening so you know what to expect. Look for places to park. Watch the traffic for a short period. How does everybody leave the neighborhood? Which ingress and egress is the most active? And if you need to park outside of the neighborhood, what are the best spots to do this? Can you do foot surveillance for activity checks instead of drive-bys? If you have to do drive-bys, can you do drive-bys at a distance, like going down a crossing street and stopping and looking down the road instead of driving past the subject house? I'm sure you can now see how prepping for the case is one of the biggest things you can do to be successful at surveillance, to be sure. And cases like the one in this scenario bring about the importance of the other major way to ensure your surveillance is successful, and that is to use multiple operatives for every surveillance. Now, wait, don't scroll away yet. I know what you're thinking. Sure thing, John. All of our clients are chomping at the bit to double their expenses. And I get it. I know. I deal with clients all day, every day, just like you do. But I have found a great way to help me explain it to the client that makes it a much easier pill for them to swallow. I start off by educating the client on the difficulties of surveillance today as compared to even just 10 years ago. Everyone has security cameras, doorbell cams, you name it. Everyone knows whenever anyone drives by or walks by their house. It is just the nature of where we are technologically today. And neighborhood watch systems today do not necessarily have municipal oversight, nor do they have those pretty orange signs. Most neighborhood watch programs are simply online neighborhood groups initiated by those who live in the neighborhood, and suspicious activity is reported with a simple click. Not even a phone call. I also have to make sure they understand the ramifications of a surveillance investigator getting burned on the case. We're not just talking about the little old lady knocking on the window risk. Once the subject knows someone is doing surveillance, they will put 2 and 2 together, and now they're even more suspicious. And finally, after I show them the evidence from my recon run and I show them how hard it will be to do surveillance without getting made, well, it is usually a lot easier for them to say yes to multiple investigators. With two investigators, we can have one investigator watching the house at a distance and the other outside ready to conduct mobile surveillance. If we can't get eyes on the residents, we can have eyes on all the egress points when the subject does leave. We can also play leapfrog and use other mobile surveillance techniques to help ensure they do not become suspicious while we're on the follow. When the subject enters a store or some other building, it's easy for one investigator to go on foot and the other maintains eyes on the exit and on the vehicle. And then when I let them know that the PI industry has a 90% success rate using multiple operatives, it usually isn't too hard for them to make the logical decision. And if they decide to just use one, well, you're still going to give it 100% to ensure you're successful, but the client now knows about the potential risks and can have a more realistic expectation of the outcome. I want to send a quick shout out and thank you to my PI Guide Premium supporters. Eric Hutchinson, thank you for your 51 months of solid support. A is A Investigations, thank you so much for your 24 months of support. And thank you so much, Nathaniel Williams and EINF, for your support as premium members. Thank you as well to my PI Guy Plus channel members, Ivan Weich and Curious Bill. And if you would like to know how to get early access on select videos each month, members-only exclusive videos, and other benefits to becoming a PI Guy channel member, then click on the join button down below.